Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Guys, I haven't posted in a while, and the reason for that is because we've all been ill, and we've had a cough, cold, virus, so that's taken it out of us for a bit, and then it's just been dealing with a cold. This is the first time since coming to Punjab where it's really hit me that we've left UK and we live in Punjab. I think trying to just survive the winter has been one of the toughest challenges I've been through. And feeling that yourself, that's your internal dialogue, I'm supposed to be a warrior princess, I can handle this, but then also feeling perhaps that maybe others are thinking that of you as well, like come on, everyone's getting on with their work here, the builders are still building, the ladies still come, they do the cleaning, and people still go about their daily lives. I mean, you have some children, you can see some children with bare feet and just sandals coping. So where does that leave you? So while this sort of feelings was going on inside me, I started noticing that I got really irritable. Because it got harder to do just simple things, I was getting really irritable, and I watched a YouTube video which was excellent. It talked about how when we feel anger, and if it's little irritabilities that keep coming up again and again, that you need to add something meaningful and purposeful in your day. Because I realized that actually I'm an introvert. I don't always like to go out all the time, and you know, unless I'm feeling 100% within myself, maybe I don't want to, you know, put on a mask and get stuff done. So missing UK, feeling so cold and irritable, I started feeling really lost and disconnected, and thoughts were going through my mind like, wow, you know, have I made the right decision? What am I doing here? So I dragged myself out of bed, and I went to the Gurdwara, and I walked in kind of with low morale, and I heard the Kirtan singing, the hymns, and the shabad that they sang was Ji ki birtha hoy so gur peha ardas kar. And that means that when your soul, when you're feeling quite down, do a prayer, a supplication, a humble request to the Guru. And then as I got closer, I asked Maharaj, the Guru, I said, what am I doing here? Like, what's my purpose here? And the Hukamnama, the order was that bin Satguru Seve Bahota Dukh Laga, that without serving the Guru, serving God, then it's like your whole life is just wasted away, and you feel pain and sorrow. Fortunately, when I got back, I got a message to partake in some seva, and that's like selfless service. It's a specific type of seva that I was given, and I got my laptop out and started working on it. And I did not realize where the time went. I didn't realize that I hadn't eaten all day. I didn't remember to do the laundry or the dishes. And hours just flew by, and I thought, wow, oh my God, I'm so engrossed in this. I'm immersed in this. And I feel so uplifted doing this type of seva. And that's when I started feeling like, wow, it's true. All this irritability, all this confusion and feelings of being lost come because we kind of lose our way. We forget what we're doing or what we're trying to achieve and what our passion is. And then when we kind of turn to, some might say the universe, but for me it's Gurbani, when we turn to the Guru's teachings or the Guru's word, it's that connection comes back, and something little happens, like a little message comes and says, do this, and then you listen, and before you know it, things have taken a shift again. So when that shift came in my mindset, I realized that I had some really bad habits that I still have from England. And one of those was that I wasn't helping myself. One of those was that I've been praying using my phone or just off by heart. And when I do it off by heart, I'm often like trying to do something at the same time, whether it's just picking up clothes, putting them away, tidying up, or whatever it is. And if I'm doing it on my phone, often I'll get messages on there and it will distract me. And for ages I wanted like a prayer book. It's called Sundar Gutka, and I wanted one of those because we didn't have one in India. And just a few days ago my husband bought me one, and I was so happy. So since then I'm trying to break this habit, which I've done since I've become a mother, because usually you'd have a baby on you, or you'd be feeding or multitasking all the time. And so the majority of my mother life was doing my daily prayers on the go, multitasking. And for the last few days I've been doing it sitting down and just reading the prayers, and it's been so fulfilling and so empowering. So in counseling, there's something that Carl Jung refers to called the shadow self, and I suppose that's what I want to present now. We all, whether we're Sikhs or not, we all have some bits of our personality that we're not so proud of, and we kind of shove it into the shadows, and we don't own it as much as the bits that we're probably more confident about. So with the projection of me trying to be a warrior princess, trying to live up to the great ancestry that I come from, we all come from, there was a bit of a conflict as well. And in that conflict, sometimes you can feel shame that, oh my God, I'm such a wimp, and look how they were, look how I was. And sometimes if you don't have self-aware people around you, or people that don't listen actively to what you're saying and just make assumptions, then it might reinforce those kind of feelings as well. So it's not always healthy. But to me, being a Sikh means being honest, being open, seeking answers, and knowing that you're not perfect. So let's embrace the shadow self as well, that these are my weaknesses. And if I embrace it, if I become authentic and actually be honest with what's going on and present my vulnerable side, then that's where the true strength comes from, true courage comes from. So in a way, yes, the aim is be a warrior princess and try your best. While I'm fully aware that living in this area, rural setup, we've been given so much more than the average families have here. So I am grateful for that, but it's just learning to process your own experiences, your own thoughts, making sense of it, making some meaning of it, and then taking divine inspiration. Because when you're thinking on that kind of same monotone level, you need a higher source to kind of like pull you out. And that's where, for me, going to Gurbani worked, or for somebody else, they might see signs from the universe. But it's just having that higher divine source taking us out of our mind frame and then reframing it so that we become more productive, more whole, and more happier individuals. Life is always full of different lessons, and remember that every time we feel we've failed, doesn't matter how many times we fall down, it's the amount of times we get up again. I'll probably never get used to the weather. After all, I've had 36 years in England. Doing what you love to do and pursuing your passion will always help you that much further. And when you feel like you're about to give up or can't do it anymore, that's when you reach out to the higher power as well and change your habits. So that's one thing I've learned. Keep blessing us, because I appreciate every text message and every comment section that you put on there. It really does keep us going. You don't know it, but I feel it over here. So thank you so much. See you soon. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.